From different countries wearing different uniforms, but we all get to work towards a common mission. They're all beautiful, but I just don't want to be new because it's just fun. Yeah, I agree with that one.
Bomber jackets.
The world's greatest air show and air display during the course of the day. To help you get around the showground, there is a free shuttle bus operating at the rear of the showground area. You can just use the maps that are being shown on the digital screen, so your souvenir brochure. In addition to that, the avid enthusiasts
what do you think, babe?
Will want to pick up a checklist, I'm sure, with all the...
To 2024. We're looking forward from 10 o'clock onwards to some as ever packed with interest, packed with interesting themes, packed with firsts. And I think first of all for us, comes up at about 4 o'clock, then it's the Royal Air Force Typhoon solo display, and two more items from the Italian Air Force, the spectacular aerobatic C-20.
Yo.
Quiet control, Mark. Yeah, if you... Air National Guard. And there's a very good reason for that, because the oldest in-service F-15C model, the single-seat fighter, with the US Air Force out of 2020, dated from 1979,
nice coming past, babe.
At which point the average jet was old. Live, of course, Boeing is targeting further overseas sales of the advanced Eagle derivatives.
Yeah.
Coming in now for another low go-around. Well, you've got to pressure that the early part of that rotation, we've probably seen vortices coming on from the other so we're quite high relative. 5 times that was gravity. Which we've seen the RAF Chinook display team performing with in recent years by virtue of 15 safari trainers. And then a two vented out of one of the fuel tanks as opposed to the engine on the cover really. Probably going to be the highest of the manoeuvres on this plateau. Well, here it comes now, in fact. and the delta wing both are performing and producing lift for the aircraft's performance. Coming down for a lower thrust. I'm a big fan of showing them off as they are used on a daily basis. Yeah, definitely. 1980s, and this, the EAV-8B Plus model from 1996. Aviation Harrier 2 was a joint project between the US and UK to develop a new 3D original Harrier of this Harrier 2 were formed.
It'll drop it off, won't it?
So, approaching from crowd right, carrying a battlefield gun on one of its 3 unslung load hooks. Joining you to the cockpit today is Flight Lieutenant James Patrick. He's our New Zealand exchange officer. We've had the pleasure of flying alongside for the past 2 years. JP considered flying today with a roll demo as a cherry on top of what's been an exciting and busy exchange. In today's configuration, the aircraft carries. So at the moment the crewmen will be fine-tuning the positioning of the Chinook. Dynamic maneuver used to quickly move away from enemy threats in front of the aircraft. Presented to the threat. The nose is then snapped around quickly to give the crewmen effective weapon arts should they be required to defend the aircraft, its crew and their passengers. Having built up some forward speed, the shuttle will now provide overwatch to the troops on the ground. Thank you very much for watching our roll demonstration. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day and look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. So for one last time, please put your hands together for the 2024 Chinook roll demonstration.
Three-point tanker for the first time.
Yes, and the hose drum unit on the ramp of the aircraft is there to refuel larger aircraft like another A400M.
And so in for the first of its flypasts.
Probably not right now, but the A400M is capable of measured in Mach, just like an airline. For those pilots that have flown, let's say, more traditional airlift aircraft with turboprops, you're talking knots and perhaps a little bit lower altitude as well.
Now, we saw a very spirited turn round to the south to reposition back onto the display line. This is only a flypath sequence we're seeing here, not a full display. But as we've seen on many occasions in the past, it is a very agile machine.
Yes, it's capable of up to 120 degrees angle of bank, and for the people familiar with geometry in the crowd will see that that's beyond 90 degrees. Typically, the aircraft should be banking at, let's say, 60 degrees, which I think is perhaps what we saw there. But through the fly-by-wire controls, achieving a high angle of bank or a sustained turn or something that you might require on operations is very straightforward for the crew at the front, for the pilots, allowing them, as I said before.
Of course, also is it correct that it has no limits in pitch, and so that's also very important in the tactical environment, isn't it, to have a very good pitch rate on it?
Let's say in a low-level environment, avoid terrain or weather or something like that, which is very good.
Or small arms fire from the ground, I suppose.
Yes.
So I'm carried down now.
Yes, so you can see.
I've said arriving in our trademark Diamond 9 formation, Red 1 bringing the team immediately to the left, which indicates to me he is starting the show flat. However, that gives you a great plan form picture. In 9 arrow from the left, it's the red arrow. Bodley is a former Typhoon pilot. He's a former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk, on the Tucano side. So he wants to follow straight back. On the front row, on the far left-hand side, is Red 5, Clayton George Honday. George is in his first year of the team, a former Typhoon pilot who's also served on operations over Iraq and Syria. Fly, this is the Tornado! The aboard call is made by Red 9 as Reds 8 and 9 roll around the rest of the formation. Watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings the team down the line. line climbing up, approaching the red, the white, the blue, followed by Ian going off to our left-hand side.
And with us here to help talk.
Somewhat of a bleed do there, and then exiting on the 45-degree line.
Flying as left wing man in this negative G push and inverted turn. But all the while maintaining the most rock steady formation.
That is absolutely stunning. So remember that the aircraft is stressed to...
And again, twisting round for a quarter clover lead.
It's a pitching and rolling manoeuvre concurrently.
But again, one in which it's very important to achieve the correct gate height at the top.
Yes. But for the outside two aircraft, they have to conduct their slow roll as well as rotate.
We give you the 2024 Royal Jordanian Falcons.
Approaching the display line from your right hand side. The team leader currently is Lieutenant Colonel Tamimi, previously 15S pilot. He's been the team leader for the past 3 years, and he you can see different colors. Years serving in this team. Now, if you
former Harrier pilot, former Typhoon pilot, and former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark 2. I don't know what I'm getting. And we're now to
here they come presenting the battle bint. The display line.
predator in the sky. Here is Sultan!
So big, I've been living in this state. You for real? You can't see
There's no limit for your I mentioned earlier about the blues in the red hours, of course.
in